Alright, so I've been having a rain leak in my car. It's been really frustrating. In fact, I've even got some mold here going in my car. And I once went out on a date with a girl and we got caught in a storm. We came back to the car, and when I opened the door for her and she sat down, there was just a splat. And you looked in the floorboard here, and I had about 1.5 inches of standing water, which you know was embarrassing, right? So I've been really frustrated with this and been trying to fix it. There's also like a moldy smell that comes with it. And I talked to the mechanic about it, and he said, you know, 9 times out of 10 when you have a rain leak in your car, the problem is the sunroof. So he recommended that I run a weed whacker line through the drains in the sunroof, and I found 2 anterior drains in the sunroof, and I ran the weed whacker wire through them, but I wasn't seeing it come out of the car. So I did a little reading, and I found a guy talking about how his hoses were disconnected from his grommet in the door here. So this grommet you normally see sticking out of your car. And because my water leak was, you know, here, we can see now where my car is leaking. Got a steady crazy drip here. You know, a hose disconnected here sounded like a pretty probable theory. So I pulled this grommet out, and sure enough, it wasn't connected to the hose. But the hose doesn't stick out very far. In fact, I can't even pull the hose out to show it to you. You know, you can just reach in there and feel it, and I don't even get a camera angle. I can just feel it on the end of my fingertip there. And so there's not a lot of workspace here. There's not a great way to come around the back side. So to access that, you know, you would think you'd have to take out the whole dashboard. And 1, I don't have the tools for that where I am right now. And 2, I don't think I want to do it even if I had the tools for it. So I popped off this plate and this plate and was feeling around, and I found that coming from this angle underneath, you can get to a hole, and you can get kind of a 2-finger width hole, and you can feel the tube from the inside. But again, that's not really giving you a lot to work with to try and marry the 2 pieces. So I came up with an idea, and I think it's pretty awesome. So what I did was I ran the weed whacker wire through the hose out the car. I've threaded the grommet here, and then I'm going to tie a knot, tying the weed whacker lines together, so that with one hand I can pull the line straight and have tension, so that I can run the grommet up the line and onto the hose. So I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna tie the knot, and then we'll show you some more. So this is the knot I tied. I just tied a few overhand turns and a few overhand turns, and when I pull it tight, put my hand on it, it's been holding. You can do whatever. You can make up your own knot like my dad does and call it a magic knot. All right, so my knot's tied and pulled tight, and then I've spit in here to help lubricate it so that it fits over the hose better. And now, you know, having a helper would be great, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm just holding pressure on this line, keep the line straight, and I'm just riding this up the line to where it will meet that hose inside and slide over it. So that's what we're gonna do. And so I slid the grommet down while applying pressure with the line, hoping things keep straight. And you can even, you know, work this center part in a little bit. You can even put most of this grommet inside that hole to ensure that you're getting a good fit on there. And then you can also reach inside this back hole and feel your way around, and you can run your finger down the tube and see that it's butting into that now. So that's all well and good, right? But what's important is, are we draining water? So let's see. I used like a tea kettle to kind of get some water hot to help with cleaning out this pipe. So that's what I have here. That's what we'll use for a test to pour. So I'm pouring my water, right? And what is that? That's water coming out of there. So it looks like this creative fix did indeed work. You know, I hope that this is helpful to you. All right, so you saw me reconnect my sunroof drain hose on my passenger side, and I figured I might as well check my driver's side. And one way that I think I discovered you can check to see if it's hooked up is if you pour water in this drain tray up here and it drains beneath the car, it seems as though that's when it's disconnected, because after I reconnect it, it doesn't drain beneath the car, it instead drains here. So that's a good way to kind of give it a diagnosis. In doing this side, I had more difficulty getting the weed whacker line through. It was more plugged up, and so I had to run a little more hot water through it to get things to loosen out to where I could push the weed whacker line through. And then a kind of a comment too is, in choosing the weed whacker line, I kind of got the biggest diameter weed whacker wire I could find that would fit through the hole, so it'd be stiffer, so that I could push through obstructions more easily, right? And then I didn't have a symptom of water leaking in this car, but I also had a more occluded drain hose. So I wonder if this being more plugged up was making more go through the passenger side, which was making overflow my passenger floorboard more. But now I cleared it. I did the weed whacker wire loop, pulled it tight, ran my plug up, and then in testing the drain, it's now draining out there successfully. So it looks like I fixed this problem, and I hope that the next storm proves that to be true. Thanks again for watching.